Hi guys, and welcome back to the Cassie Project. So this week we are going to continue on through the story of the amazing Draw Your Own Adventure. So this is an art prompt book written by Chloe Rose. Now it's a little bit different because she's created this story. We go on a journey while filling in these different art prompts. So we've all been really enjoying it and we're dying to get on to the next part of this story. If you haven't been watching this series so far, do feel free to pause this video, go watch episode 1 and 2, and then come straight back here.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So for those that need a little bit of a recap, this is where we ended the story. Below you notice something shining, a treasure chest filled with a few measly coins. It looks like a couple of creatures nearby have stolen some of the treasure. Draw a seahorse and a crab swimming away with the coins, which is what we did in the last episode. My cute little seahorse and crab. And then open the bottle. So in last week's video, I got you guys to comment what you thought was going to be in the bottle. And I love some of the comments, they were brilliant. But some of you did actually guess correct. An old map in a bottle. You guys guessed it. So this should be weathered. It will come to life with some warm tones. Use tea bags, water or coffee leftovers to give the map an aged appearance before drawing the regions on the map. So I'm going to be using my Derwent Inktense pencils, and I did this in my last sketchbook ideas video where I created a vintage style map, and I thought that I could do this process again in the same way that you would use tea bags or coffee to dirty up the page, but it's just a little bit more controlled. So to start with, I'm going in with a brown colour and I'm just adding splodges of this brown all over the page, and then because these pencils are water soluble, I'm using a paintbrush with some water to blend that all out. This is where I did something a little nonsensical. So I used my green pencil to go around the edges. Now I'm not sure if this actually makes any sense. In my sketchbook video, I was creating these shapes, which was the land. So the green was on the land and the blue was the sea. And I realised I've copied that same thing on here, but this is actually a map. This isn't where the land meets the sea. This is a scrap piece of paper. So I'm suggesting that the map is the land, but it kind of is. That is the land, but the outside isn't really the sea, is it? That's suggesting that we are the ocean. Does anyone know what I'm on about? I can just picture you guys at home thinking, what is she on? Maybe I should stop going on about this, but it doesn't make sense. The map is the land, but we aren't the ocean. We aren't the sea. But anyway, so what I decided to do was add some more little illustrations on the different sections of the map. I've added a few more houses, a few more trees, and I coloured in each of those using the same pencils. And there you go. I think this has turned out really nice. Even though it doesn't make complete sense, I still like the look of it. It looks vintage, doesn't it? Do you know what's interesting is that each of these regions is kind of giving us a bit of a sneak preview of the story. We know that we are going to get to a farm or a very cold place. It's got me more excited to go through this book. I genuinely have not looked at the pages in this book, so this is as much as a surprise to me as it is to you. I really hope that that is right. I really want to meet that frog cave, especially. You know I'm a fan of frogs. Let's move on to the next page. According to the map, the mountains are the first destination. Since you can't trust your swimming skills to get there, you decide to draw a submarine with some old trash found under the water. A soda can submarine? A boot submarine? Attach a propeller to it and that's all it needs to get it moving. I think it's a really fun way of drawing a vehicle. If it is said to me, draw a submarine, I would have been so bored. But the fact that I've got to use trash to create a submarine, Marine. The fact that I've got to use trash to create the submarine is just so much more fun. So now I've got that sketch down using my fine liner, I'm going to go in with my Artex acrylic markers. I'm going to fill in all that space with the ocean with this lovely blue colour. And as you can see, I've actually let that spread onto the second page a little bit, just to kind of combine that story onto the second page as well. Now, I chose a Coca-Cola bottle to be our submarine. What would you guys have chosen for your chosen trash? Let me know in the comments below. So I've added a little bit of Coca-Cola that's left in the bottom of this bottle and then coloured in that famous red label and red lid. And I've attached a few different items to it to create this submarine. We've got some spoons as the propeller and maybe like a yogurt pot attached to the top of it. And finally, to finish it off, we're adding those lovely highlights, which I think really transformed it. And there you go. There is my little submarine made out of trash.
Oh my gosh, I have the best news ever. The Art Grow Sketchbook is available now and it's so cool.
Thank you, Valerie. That was super helpful. Thank you for letting these guys know that the Art Grow Sketchbook is available on my website. You can head on over to the cassieprojects.co.uk to get yours. I've also got some fantastic stickers available at the moment that I'm so proud of. We've got the gorgeous Wildflowers bunch and we've got, of course, the Cavalier inspired sticker, Cozy Lola, which is so adorable and very fitting right now, isn't it? Yes, because there's too many cute puppies in my life. It's been so exciting to see you guys filling in your sketchbooks. I will pop down the playlist below, but you guys have already started filling in your Art Grow sketchbooks. So please do carry on tagging me in your videos. It's so fun to watch you transform your sketchbooks. Thank you to everyone that has purchased their sketchbook so far. And yeah, let's get back to it. Your submarine drifts through the deep abyss until you find two canvases floating. One complete, one blank. Perhaps painting the blank canvas in your own style will open a portal. As you know, I don't tend to paint landscapes. I tend to do characters and animals and things. But when I do, I have started using this approach where you create an underpainting with this beautiful, vivid pink colour. I just love it when that colour shows through. I learnt this technique from Mirabila. I just love her artwork and I really enjoy painting landscapes this way. I think it's really pretty. So I thought I would do that on this miniature canvas, and it was a lot less daunting actually using a miniature canvas instead of having to do this large landscape. I really enjoyed it. I did some flowers in the foreground and of course I had to add a little character in there, so I've popped in a little bunny at the front just to make it look more my style. Now, because I painted that second canvas in my own style, a portal opened up. It was swirling with all these different purples. We've got this bright purple in the middle, going out into this dark purple and eventually into this black. And this portal is swirling around until the portal sucks you in and suddenly you find yourself standing on a hill, looking over the mountains, a tiny village nestled at the base. There isn't a paddle boat at the dock, so you draw one. Bring the scene to life using only one type of art supply. So I've decided that I'm going to use acrylic gouache for this. It's such a nice art supply to use. It's got like a matte finish to it, which I really enjoy using in art prompt books. I also chose it because I was trying to think of a way to be able to add detail if I wanted to. This is the joy of paint. I can use any paintbrush that I want. So I could use a thicker paintbrush or a very fine tipped paintbrush to add as much detail. So I thought that this was a really good way of using just one art supply. It's quite a challenge. I started off by going in with a lovely blue wash across the water and then added this light pale green to the hills. Now this mountain in the background, I decided to go in with a dark deep green just to show that it was in that deep shadow. And this is why I decided to go in with the acrylic gouache, because I knew that it would be able to paint over that grey colour of that mountain in the first place. And now time to work on the dock and the paddle boat. So I'm going in with this brown colour and I'm going to create this boat shape, and I'm using a darker brown to show the edge of that boat. I was desperate to get out my fine liners, but I didn't. I stuck to it. One art supply. And then I wanted to use lots of pastel colours for the different houses in the village. So I've got these pale yellows, blues and greens, because there's just something so special about villages with all those different coloured houses. I just think it's so quaint and pretty. In fact, I'd love to know what one art supply you would have used for this page. Let me know in the comments below. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit nervous to do this page. I'm not the sort of person that delves into landscapes easily, but I'm genuinely really pleased with how this has turned out, and I'm so glad that I chose acrylic gouache as my one art supply. So finally we are moving on to this beautiful street. I'm so excited to decorate this, and I wanted to go in with those gorgeous pastel colours again. The buildings in the village are very charming and colourful. It seems as if a festival is going on. Colour the building and add balloons, streamers and party decorations throughout the street. Bonus points if you add metallic colours to the scene. I'm going in with my Artex acrylic markers for this one. I thought that they would work really well because I can colour a lot of space with the markers, but I can also go in with that fine tip to add the detail. Now I'm trying to create a bit of a colour palette for each house. So for the light green house, I've got the pale walls, but then I've used a darker green for the curtains. Same with the blue house, all the accessories are a deeper blue. I thought that that just kind of organised the chaos a little bit. Now I need to decorate this page with loads of colour and balloons and make it like a festival. So I've added plenty of greenery to add accents of colour, but I've also got these lines coming across, and this is where I'm going to hang lots of lights. Now you'll see that I'm just using a yellow for the lights, and then I'm going in with some different colours for the balloons, and then I was like, oh no, I need to use metallic markers. And this is one of the reasons I use my Artex markers, is because I've got a handful of metallic colours in this set. So I grabbed out this metallic green, silver, gold, pink, and added those to the balloons, and then I used a gold for all of the lights, and they sparkle so bright. So there you go, these are the pages that we've done this week. I really enjoyed that. It took me out of my comfort zone, but I think that I did really well considering it was things that I'm not used to. I really enjoyed adding the metallic markers to that page in the end. I think it really transformed it and really brightened up those lights, which was super, super fun. I can't wait to travel through this village and see where we get to next. In fact, we could have a little look at the treasure map. So we've done the mountains, we've gone to the village, and then after the village, it says orchard. So, ooh, what are we going to find in the orchard? Oh, so exciting! Are you all excited with me? There we go. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Do carry on watching some more videos over here. I will pop in a binge-worthy playlist for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.